Hello dear students, welcome to the third lecture on JNK Panchayati Raj Act of 1989. Already uploaded two lectures on it. You can go back and watch those first, okay? Before referring to this. Because if you directly jump on this, you won't understand anything, okay? So in this topic or in this lecture, we are going to discuss District Development Council, okay? Which is a very important topic, okay? District Development Council. So the article or the section that deals with the District Development Council is section 45, and it's very important, okay? So what is the first basic thing about District Development Council is that in every district there has to be a District Development Council, okay? In every district. And if there is a District Development Council, obviously there should be members that are the part of it, okay? And who shall be the eligible members? Firstly, those should be the members who are directly elected through election, okay? And second, those will be the members or we can say some of the members of legislative assembly related to that district. So if we will take the generalization or general, if we will take in general way, or we will say in general way, then only the members of some of the members of legislative assembly. But if we will take as per district wise division, the members that fall within that district and are a part of legislative assembly are also the part of District Development Council, okay? I hope it's clear now. And third are the chairpersons of all block development council, okay? So these three members will be the part of District Development Council, okay? So District Development Council, okay, all the members that are part of it have a right to vote, okay? But if in the removal of, for example, if there is an election or there is the voting that is going on for the removal of chairperson or removal of vice chairperson, in that sense, not all the members can vote. Only elected members can vote in the removal of chairperson and vice chairperson, okay? And the seats in the District Development Council are to be reserved for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, okay? And also one of the similar points, repeated points, that not less than 1/3 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe women, okay? It means at least 1/3 of the total seats are to be reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe women, okay? Now another important point is that out of total seats, 1/3 of seats are to be filled, okay? Are to be filled only through direct election, okay? Only through direct election. It is the general vacancy or general reservation of all the women. It is including women from SC and ST. It means all the seats that are reserved for women, that's 1/3 of total seats, that are to be filled by direct election only, okay? Now we talk about District Development Council. So there is a person who is called CEO, okay, Chief Executive Officer. There has to be a person who is the CEO of District Development Council. So who will be the CEO of District Development Council? It will be Additional District Development Commissioner, okay? Very important. So who is the CEO of, or who will be the CEO of DDC, that is District Development Council? It will be Additional District Development Commissioner, okay? Just remember this, I will highlight it, okay? And the term for DDC member, that is District Development Commission member, is 5 years, okay? And what is the disqualification of the member of DDC? It will be similar as there are the disqualification in the section 6. If you don't know what is section 6, it means that you haven't watched my previous video on JandK Panchayati Raj Act, okay? Just refer to them and you will definitely understand this, okay? Now, as I told you that disqualification, or when someone is disqualified, it means the seat has to be felt vacant, okay? It will fall vacant, okay? If for example the seat of chairperson will fall vacant, then the chairperson can give his charge to vice chairperson. Very important point, okay? But if vice chairperson has already vacated earlier, it means if vice chairperson is not in is not in conversation and there is no seat of chairperson, vice chairperson, then chairperson has to give his charge to CEO, that is Chief Executive Officer. And who is the CEO? CEO will be the Additional District Development Commissioner, okay? Simply, then chairperson has to give his charge to Additional District Development Commissioner, okay? Okay, how the chairperson or the vice chairperson will be removed? It will be similar, on the similar grounds, okay? Like he will have to, for example, there has to be a motion of no confidence, okay? No confidence passed against him, and there should be at least 2/3 majority that should be favoring this motion, okay, then he shall be removed, okay. Now section 45B, important section. Why? Because it deals with the election of chairperson and vice chairperson, okay, election. So here is written that elected members of DDC, that is District Development Council, shall be, you know, kind of shall be treated for, or kind of shall be responsible for taking an oath, and that oath has to be taken when a meeting is convened by whom? None other than Deputy Commissioner of that district, and it is in front of Deputy Commissioner the oath of these members will be taken, okay. Oath of DDC members will be taken. So this is it. I hope it's clear, okay. And for after oath, the chairperson and vice chairperson, when Deputy Commissioner will call the meeting of DDC members, then during its first meeting, okay, during its first meeting, the seat of chairperson and seat of vice chairperson shall be filled, okay, shall be filled. So, and who will decide the chairperson and vice chairperson? Of course, it will be decided among its members, okay. And for example, if there is a seat that is vacant, okay, of a chairperson or vice chairperson due to death or due to resignation or due to no confidence motion, as I told you or mentioned you above about the removal, then a new election for the chairman and vice chairman should be conducted, and the time frame will be 3 months, okay. The election has to be election has to be or the new members are to be elected within the 3 months, okay. And 1/3 of the seats of DDC are reserved for women. That's also mentioned above, okay. Now moving to section 45C, okay. I am kind of taking it in a slower pace because I know this is very difficult and you have to kind of focus here, okay. How the business is conducted, okay. There has to be at least 4 meetings per year. It means in 4 months there has to be at least 1 meeting, okay. In 4 months there has to be at least 1 meeting. That is 4 meetings per year, okay. Okay, so if there is ordinary meeting that will be going on, then they have to give 10 days advance notice, okay. And if there is a special meeting, then they have to give 7 days advance notice, okay. These are very intricate details. Just focus on these things. Okay, now let's talk about quorum of DDC. So quorum is actually minimum requirement of members for a meeting. So there should be at least 1/2 of members, or we can say 50% of the total members, okay. Now, for example, after the meeting, if a resolution is passed by the District Development Council, then that resolution first has to be recorded, okay. That is called a minutes of meeting, okay. That session has to be first recorded as minutes of meeting, and then those that copy of minutes of meeting should be given to government within 10 days, okay. Very important. That copy of meeting should be, or the result of that meeting should be given to the government, handed over to the government, or one of the copies should be given to them within 10 days, okay. And also in a meeting, in a DDC meeting, there may be sometimes the requirement of a officer, okay. The officer and that requirement, how that officer will approach the DDC meeting. So first, actually, what CEO has to do, CEO, that is Chief Executive Officer, has to address that officer by a letter, and then that person may come. This officer may come, or may send a person on his behalf, okay. Okay, if that officer comes himself, that's okay. If he sends a person on his behalf, then that shall also be counted, okay. Now, very important thing, every DDC, that District Development Council, will have a standing committee, okay. What is a standing committee? So I will tell you, there has to be a standing committee, okay, and that standing committee will be relating to these 5 subjects: a standing committee on finance, a standing committee for development, a standing committee for works, a standing committee for education and health, and a standing committee for welfare. Just remember all these names, okay. Finance, development, public works, health and education, and welfare, okay. Now this standing committee, okay, will have a chairperson, okay. And that chairperson of this standing committee shall also be selected among its own members, okay, who are the members of it, okay. But not in terms of finance. This is a very exception, and always these things are asked in the examination. Whatever is the exception, exceptions are always asked. So every chairperson of standing committee can be elected from its members, but not of the finance standing committee chairperson cannot be elected from its members. This is an exception, okay. Now, vice chairperson of District Development Council to be a member of standing committee to finance, okay. Who will be the vice chairperson? Sorry, who will be the member of standing committee of finance? Vice chairperson of district development council. Very important point. Vice chairperson of district development council has to be the chairperson, has to be the member of the standing committee of finance, but he shall not have a right to vote. Okay, and chairperson of district development council, to be, he has to be ex officio member. Okay, ex officio member of all standing committee. Okay, so chairman of DDC will be the ex officio chairman or ex officio member of all standing committee except right to vote, but there will not be an right to vote. What is ex officio? I will tell you. Ex officio member is that member who is already holding an office. For example, if there is deputy commissioner, okay, and he is supposed to be now he's given this role to be member of some committee, okay, then for that committee he shall be the ex officio member. Means a member who is already holding his own office. Okay, so that is the ex officio member. Similarly, the chairperson of district development committee will be the ex officio member of all standing committee. Okay, yes. Now a member other than ex officio member, okay, if a member is there who is not an ex officio member of standing committee, okay, and chairperson of standing committee, first a member who is not ex officio member of standing committee and a chairperson of standing committee except finance, okay, may resign from membership of standing committee. Okay, who can resign? A chairperson of standing committee can resign, but not of finance. Okay, and a member who is not ex officio member of standing committee can resign. Okay, simply two people cannot resign. Ex officio member of standing committee cannot resign. Okay, and chairperson of finance cannot resign. Okay, others can resign by sending a resignation to secretary. Okay, they can resign by sending a resignation to secretary if they want to kind of resign from the membership of standing committee. Okay, so secretary to inform chairperson of vice chairperson of DDC. Okay, so about the resignation, a secretary has to inform whom? Chairperson and vice chairperson of district development council. Okay, now for example, there is a vacancy, so now these seats are to be refilled in standing committees, and how should be these seats refilled? They should be refilled within 30 days. Okay, so that's it for DDC, that is district development council. Okay, I hope you have understood everything. This is district development council. I hope you have understood everything. I have tried to explain as best I could. So if you could not understand it, definitely have a second revision, you will understand this. Thank you so much for watching, and keep appreciating my efforts by subscribing to the channel.